Welcome to your midweek daily rundown with me, Dan Morfitt. This is the show on Channel 7 where we look at some of the big stories of the day and some of the little ones too. Things up for debate on this daily rundown include missing patients, spooking a Ghostbuster and student fees. Plus, our guest will be talking about how we found Nemo and will Finding Dory see a surge in tropical fish ownership again? And is that right? But first, it's time to introduce those guests that will be helping me wade through it all. She's a Yankee Doodle dandy in the UK courts that hates such generalised descriptions. Writer, stand-up, future diabetic, candy enthusiast and absolute nerd. It's Kate McCabe.
Nailed it. Hello.
Was that good?
It was, to a T.
Perfect. No candy for the next 90 minutes.
I'm with abstaining.
No Jolly Ranchers. Not here. Other brands are available. Not that I know them. She's a professional cynic and her heart is in it. Actor, musician and presenter Ashleigh Talbot.
Hello.
Coming just straight from set.
From the set, yes, down in that there London. Yeah.
Oh my God, she's turned, hasn't she?
Yeah.
She's turned into a lovey. Now, if you want to get involved with the show and have your say on anything we chat about, please just tweet us at The Daily Rundown. You will not regret it. You can follow us while we're there, and we might follow you back if you're interested. Time now to look at our first story. Today saw Theresa May face her first Prime Minister's questions. The new PM was quizzed by Jeremy Corbyn over the state of Britain's economy, questioning her pledge to stand up for people in insecure jobs. He went on to say that her austerity policy has failed. Mrs May responded by saying, he calls it austerity, I call it living within our means. The PM then said that while the opposition continued their infighting, her party would be bringing this country back together. So, my guests, how did the PM fare in her first PMQs?
Well, I mean, I suppose it depends what side you're on, really.
It does depend on what colour your political badge is.
Pretty much, yes. So.
However, from an outsider looking in, I thought she was all right for a first one. She hit a stride.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she hit a stride in the same way that, you know, it's not really about having a political discussion about the state of the country anymore, so much as sniping at the opposition, which is exactly what David Cameron did. So in many ways, it's like, oh, okay, so it you know.
I did find it surprising that you say like sniping at the other party, because I did think, we're gonna unify this country, you idiots.
Yeah.
You know, it was a bit like, oh wow, that's like your first day in is sort of like you're going to speak to your colleagues like that. And I don't know if maybe it happens less in America or if it just happens sort of like in special like on special occasions. Like when people are filibustering and things like that. But I did think like, wow, they went in like with all their sarcasm cannons loaded.
It does seem less about PMQs now and more about stand-up. It's like a little
roast.
15 minutes. Yeah, it's a roast.
Yeah.
It's really weird to see, but for her first one,
it was a good roast.
Exemplary.
I mean, yes, I suppose. I'm not a fan. Essentially, unfortunately, I can't sort of put. Yes, you know, she was completely adequate in this role.
But Jeremy Corbyn's been doing these things for what, 8 months now, 9 months. He's not getting any better at them. He flusters, he flummoxes, he agitates, he cogitates, and other Radio 4 type of things.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, you know, and I don't think this is unique to any one particular party, but they all just lie. Is the thing. So Theresa May's quote was, you call it austerity, I call it living within our means. Having just approved £200 billion for a nuclear weapons system.
She is trying
How is that living within our means?
She's trying to move away from that word austerity. In her first speech that she made in Downing Street, she said austerity was not the way to go. But by any other word, it is.
Yeah, I found that to be the most hypocritical bit of sort of language in that sort of embracing the sort of definition of austerity, saying like there's nothing wrong with austerity and stop complaining about austerity. But I think we are within our rights to complain when they are spending that much money on nuclear submarines. I also feel like, yes, you have to admit that she, you know, came in all guns blazing and did a great job. I just wish that she was doing a good job in regards to sort of like the policies that I like.
Yeah.
I wish that she was fighting for sort of, I guess, liberal causes.
Yeah, you kind of, because, you know, fine, yes, if we're going to say that She's good at what she does. It's just a shame that what she and most of the rest of the Conservative Party does is so gosh darn morally reprehensible. Really.
Is there anything that we can salvage here? Is it good to see a strong, powerful woman as a role model there at the dispatch box, giving it both barrels to an opposition party?
I suppose, a woman being successful in what she does it can have benefit. It can be that regardless whether she's conservative or liberal, women who are good at their jobs should be paid attention to, should be respected. And if she's good at her job, then great. I think people should give her the credit that she's due. Without being too cynical, I am hopeful that she's not going to be as bad as I envision. Okay. I want to be looser in my sort of day-to-day political anxiety. I hope that she doesn't, unleash even more and more conservative policies. I know that she grew on the LGBT issues. I'm hoping that she continues to grow. She
voted a lot of them down, though.
Initially,
she did.
yeah.
Yes, she did. She's also voted as Home Secretary. She's also done things like deporting LGBT asylum seekers back to their country of origin because they weren't gay enough. This included
wow.
Yeah, this literally included the story of a lesbian who said, well, you can't be a lesbian because you have children back in your home country. And it's like, well, yes, but I still had to flee because of the persecution and threats of violence.
You can't be a lesbian because you're fertile.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
And it's just...
Not lesbian enough is a phrase that's going to remain with me for a while.
Exactly. So, I mean, I guess, yeah, fine, great. It's a good thing that we've got a woman at the helm. So that means that all the deportations of pregnant women and LGBT women, those will all be feminist now?
Well, there was that shirt, this is what feminism looks like, or this is what a feminist looks like. And, I remember reading on Twitter sort of the backlash against that, like, well, if you were a feminist, you wouldn't be denying, reproductive rights to women or this and that and the other thing. So I think she's going to be a frustrating character. I hope that it's not as bad as I imagine and that she does more good than harm, but we'll see.
It would be remiss of me not to mention it, and also cliched in another way. When she was at the dispatch box today, she's our second female Prime Minister. You can only compare and contrast to what's gone before.
Yes.
It's a shame. Yeah.
That person before was Thatcher. There was one point today where if you closed your eyes, I could swear I was 7 years old again. It was Sunday night and I was watching Spitting Image, because the voice that she used when she said, "Remind you of anybody?" just was Thatcher. What do you think of that?
I mean, is she a cyborg? Have they cloned her? Have they been sort of growing her in a special Thatcher?
It might be like Body Snatchers, where the first one has to go for the next one to...
I mean, it makes sense, though. It's and I think she was sort of bragging that, the Conservatives are the only people that have had two, heads of party.
I think that was one of her lines, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What has the Conservative Party ever done for women? And it's like, we're looking at the second. And it was just a bit of sass, for want of a better word.
But I mean, it's two women cut from the same cloth. It's not two completely diverse. It's not like this is a centralist sort of black woman. It's another white female from I'm assuming you can correct me if I'm wrong, but from a well-to-do background.
Oh, Thatcher wasn't. Her dad was a
No,
grocer.
actually. Yeah,
Okay.
her dad was a grocer.
And she just became a chemist at Cambridge, I believe, after going to grammar school.
Okay.
But, yes, she was a chemist beforehand, so Thatcher actually has done something.
Yeah, she did do a thing, and she did totally call it on CFCs.
Yeah.
Because...
Well, I think she invented a form of ice cream, didn't she, as well?
Probably.
Yeah, that's correct.
It's amazing the tats that you remember in your head.
Yeah.
Thatcher invented an ice cream.
Hooray.
She also had a go at Jeremy Corbyn today on calling him an unscrupulous boss. Just on another level, when will we see the battles in the Labour Party finish? Because it's getting
I know. It's
really
ridiculous,
utterly boring.
It's like,
if you were a Labour supporter, you must be getting frustrated with the hierarchy of the party.
Yes.
I think this is a tough one because she's calling him unscrupulous and saying that he's not listening to his employees. But to be honest, I don't think, if she's calling the members of Parliament his employees, I don't think the MPs are listening to the people. I know so many people that are real Corbynites and are really supportive of him as leader of the Labour Party. And I feel like your true employees are the people. So potentially,
the membership.
Yeah, potentially he is serving his employees by staying in the fight. So good on him in that regard. I think she needs to look further than the MPs and look at the membership.
Yes, I would agree with that sentiment, really, because it does just seem like the groundswell of support that we've seen for Jeremy Corbyn quite recently has come from not the Parliamentary Labour Party, it's come from the membership.
From the grassroots.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
voted him in the first place.
Well, quite, and so it's just recent moves that they've made as well, like so the membership which expired today, so you can no longer sign up as a member of the Labour Party to vote for Jeremy Corbyn, but that was costing £25, which is in stark contrast to the few pounds it cost.
I think £3 to sign up.
£3 to become a registered supporter, but again, doing that this time around, would either cost you 25 to be able to vote. It's just they're moving the goalposts, and it's ridiculous.
They haven't liked him since day one.
No, they haven't,
really.
and it's like, guys, be the opposition.
And I think Owen
Stop
Smith,
fighting each other.
Owen Smith today said if he was elected the new leader of the Labour Party, he would make Jeremy Corbyn party president. I don't know who Owen Smith is if I walked past him down the street, and I keep getting him confused with Owen Jones.
He keeps saying things like, I am normal, I am a dad.
I have kids, I have
Yeah, which kind of seemed a bit like, okay, so you're in a leadership race against a gay woman and you're going to use the word normal. Are you quite sure that's a good idea? What's the message you're really sending there, Smith?
Bringing it back to PMQs, it was her first one today for Theresa May, but was it more of the same? Was it this gladiatorial politics that Jeremy Corbyn doesn't go in for?
I think it was, to be perfectly honest, from what I've seen, and it's just the news was just focused on essentially the new Prime Minister and her sass, and that's great, but actually I'm more interested in, where's everything's been crazy since the end of June.
Yeah, everything's gone. June the 23rd, things just went
completely,
haywire.
And I think Kate got it right. It was a roast today, and I think sadly we might be seeing more of that.
Yeah, I wish it would stop already. Like, have some nice words for each other, have a picnic, build bridges,
do some work.
Yeah,
have a pint. At the moment, Theresa May is in Germany, probably enjoying roast pig or something like that with Angela Merkel, so we'll keep you updated on that. Right, that's the end of part one of the Daily Rundown. Still to come, who are you going to call out? Racist misogynists. It's a Ghostbusters thing, trust me. And striking off patients from doctors' lists. Get the kettle on, and the three of us will be back in just a few minutes here on Channel 7 and the Daily Rundown. Do not go away.